Oh, Jesus Christ. Hopefully, I'm in the middle of the frame, but to be honest, whatever. Mm. Hello, my name is Lena. Um, this is my podcast. First ever. Uh, just a little bit background on me. I have not scripted it. I decided to start doing it on a whim today, literally 2 hours ago. But I have been having this idea to start a podcast for a really long time. I think about 2 or 3 years ago, at least. But I've been pitching. To be honest, I think it started. The idea started back in 2020 during the pandemic, and I've been trying to pitch it to my friends who have been kind of. They're like, yeah, let's do it together, and then no, because nobody took it seriously except for me, because I find this idea fun. So I decided to start doing it myself and see how it's gonna go. From my accent, you probably can hear that clearly I'm not a native English speaker. That's because I'm Russian. Um, I've been living in United States for about 7 years, but I came back to Russia in 2019. Uh, what I've been doing in United States, you might ask. I've been going to school there. I've been in international boarding school for a couple of years, and then I went to university, and then I lived for about a year on my, what do you call it, OPT, the optional training something. Basically, it's like a work thing that allows you to work for about a year after you finish college for international students. But then I couldn't apply. I mean, that's not the right word. I could apply for work visa, but nobody would approve it because you have to go through a very long process in order to get your visa, work visa approved as a non-American citizen. And I didn't have any work experience, or nor did I have a very hardcore, like specific type of what do you call it, education in order for me to apply. And I didn't have anyone who I could marry, so to be honest, I had to come back. At the time, it was the best decision, and I usually don't look back and think twice about the decision that I've made, because I remember myself back then, and when I finally decided that I'm gonna come back, I think it was such a huge relief for me, because it was so hard to be on your own in another country. Just in general, I remember it was very hard emotionally and physically. So here's my little background why I speak in English. And to be honest, I've been going back and forth. What language should I start it with? Also, all grammars that I do here, I apologize in advance to anyone who speaks English perfectly. I might forget something, so sorry. I've been going back and forth between speaking or doing this in Russian or doing this in English, and I feel like because I spent such a long time in the United States, and those years, basically I came there when I was 17 and I came back when I was 23. Those years was so formative for me in terms of like cultural moments, just in general the culture. I still feel like I have a hard time connecting to some of the popular Russian moments. Like, for example, I don't really listen to Russian music except for like old school stuff. I don't really follow like Russian celebrities. I don't really follow Russian media. It's just something that I don't really participate in. But for me, in terms of like pop culture and stuff like that, I think for me it's such a big point. So I still want to talk about it, but I want to talk about it to the audience who also can relate. Hopefully, the audience that can relate. So, for example, right now I'm sitting in my Metros t-shirt. My sister got it for me because I love heated rivalry, and I can't talk about it in Russia. So, in addition, I really miss speaking English. So, I think this is gonna be such some kind of outlet for me to like bring it back in my mind, because technically in my workplace I don't really speak a lot of English, but I still have some, like one of my clients, sometimes I have a presentation for their headquarters. I remember a year ago or so, or maybe 2 years ago, I was asked to do a presentation, and I started rehearsing it with myself, and I found it that I understand all the words, I remember all the words, but my mouth, all of my muscles in my mouth kind of like forgot how to pronounce something. So it was really hard to make my mouth move, basically. So I think it's going to be a really good exercise for me, at least. So that's a little bit of background on me. Also, if you hear some noise, it's because I'm sitting with the balcony open, because it's freaking hot. It's, even though it's 7:30, I think we're getting a little bit of this European heat wave in St. Petersburg, so maybe, I don't know. Also, I've been trying to connect my headphones, like what do you call it? Earphones to my phone so I can record with them, so the microphone is going to be on them. I don't know why it didn't work, so that's why I'm sitting with this production. Hopefully it's going to work. Anyway, what has been happening this month? Today is 19th of July. At the beginning of the month, I was on vacation with my mom and my sister. We went to Turkey all together, and it was great because it was such a anticipated vacation. This year at work has been awful. I think all around Russia the same situation is everywhere. So in terms of vacation, it has been great. However, I feel like my brain has been programmed to have a certain type of vacations, especially for the beach vacation, since I was a child. Because I remember our dad would wake us up really early, around 7 a.m. We were having breakfast, and then we would be almost the first ones at the beach. And it was back in Spain when we were going there. I remember we were going to the beach. Literally, even Spanish people were still sleeping. The only people who were on the beach at the same time as us were like old people. You know, like for old people, I feel like they don't really sleep anymore that much. So only old people were at the beach and us. And then we would tan and be at the beach till like 12 or like 1 p.m. Come back home, have our lunch, have a nap, and then around 4 p.m. we would be back to the beach again. So we would have 2 beach sessions. And I think the same type of vacation has been programmed in my brain since I was little, because this vacation has been the same thing. I would wake up at 7, I would take our towels, go to the beach, leave them on the sunbeds, so we would have a sunbeds after breakfast, because I don't know if you've been to Turkey or not, because the beaches are so small. Usually people who wake up really early go to the beach, reserve with their towels a sunbed, and then come back, have a breakfast, and go back to the beach. So that's what I was doing, even though we would be back from breakfast Literally, no one would be there. But it's a habit. Anyway, the vacation has been great. Uh, yeah, so we would tend till like 12 till like 1 p.m. and then we would be back to the beach around 4 p.m. We didn't go to any excursions. No excursions for us. Mom and I were like looking at the pamphlet with options, and I was like, no, I don't want to pay $150 for that. I would rather lay on the beach and have a tan and swim and don't disturb my routine. Mom was like, yeah, same. So, but also, to be honest, it's been my fourth time in Turkey. To be honest, so I think my sister has been the second time, but the first time she's been there, it was like when we were very little. So she doesn't really remember any excursions that we've been on then. She was like 1 year old. And I've been to Turkey since 2020. One, two. It was my fourth time. So I've been to almost every excursion that's possible, at least something that was interesting to me. So I was not really a positive towards excursions and stuff. So yeah, the hotel was great. I loved it. Actually, it was the same hotel that we've been in when we were little. And when the tour operator, is it the word? Like people who work at the tour company and you can buy a tour from them. When she suggested this hotel, I was like, oh my God. I said, Mom, we're going there. She was like, are you sure? I was like, yes. So yeah. And also, I'm going to recommend now to anyone who's going to Turkey and going with the tour company, book your own transfer. Book your own transfer to the hotel, to the airport, from the airport to a hotel. It's so, so, so worth it. Like, I cannot even describe how much it's worth it, because they're not gonna stop at the random place for you to like, because they're I think the government makes all the tour buses stop at the bus stop where tourists can pay some money in terms of like food. It's going to take you 40 minutes to stop there, and then you're going to continue on all your way to the hotel. But also they're going to stop to several hotels on the way to yours to drop people off. It's going to take you 3 hours. It took us hour and 25 minutes to get from the airport to the hotel, so it was worth every penny. So yeah, the vacation was great. We came back, and I still had a week of vacationing. To be honest, I had such a bad depression episode in terms of like coming back to work. I was like, no. So the whole time I've been at home, I've been thinking about work, which is not great. And on Sunday, I went to my therapist and I told her that. She was like, are you kidding me? No, she was not. But we've talked the whole hour about my fear of work. It was funny. Also, I'm drinking electrolytes because it's so hot. What else? I've been spending time with my sister because she's leaving in a couple of days to go back to United States because she has a green card and she lives in Miami. And what else? I think yesterday we had such a great time. All of my family, we have, my grandma lives in the suburbs and she has a house. In Russia we call it dacha. So it's basically like a summer house, but you can like my grandma lives there for the whole year. And my family goes there almost every weekend. My family, in terms of like me, my sister, my mom, my cousins, their husbands and wives, their kids, although we only have one kid in our family right now. So the whole shebang of my family is there. It's about 10 to 15 people sometimes. And yesterday we had a barbecue, we drank wine, everyone had a little something to do. Like I was picking up berries, blueberries, my cousin was cutting grass, we were all playing with my niece, we were drinking wine, we were playing badminton, or like another game where you usually play it in the water. It's like two wooden rackets with a ball. It's kind of hard. It's harder to play than badminton. We had such a great time. It was such a lovely vibe. The weather was amazing. The wine was great. The music, Sasha, my sister, turned on the music. It was great. I loved it so much. I even got drunk. I went to bed at like 12 and I stopped drinking at like 11 because I realized that I'm so drunk. If I'm not gonna stop, I'm not gonna be able to fall asleep. So I had to cut myself off, even though my cousins continue drinking around the fire pit. Anyway, I was tired by 12, so I went to bed, and I don't even remember falling asleep. I think, thank God, I woke up in the middle of the night with my ear mask on, without my glasses. My phone was turned and plugged in, so hopefully it was me. If not, thank you, my sister. I think she must have done it for me. But it was great. I loved it so much. I think it gave me energy for the upcoming week because I don't want to think about work, but it's honestly the only thing that I'm thinking about because it's so hard recently. It got so hard recently, and it's so stressful, and it takes a lot of my time and mental energy, and I'm kind of pissed at myself because it takes so much of my mental energy. Like, calm down, girl. You're not a like scientist. You're not someone who works in ER. You're not saving people's lives. You work in marketing. Stop crying yourself to sleep. Like, honestly, that's my vibe right now. I've been getting pissed at myself because I'm getting scared and stressed at work. This shit should stop. It should not continue, honestly. I've been talking to you like I'm talking to my friends and like telling my life story. Hopefully it translates. I'm having given you positive vibes because honestly, sometimes I speak to myself. Sometimes what's the right word? Sometimes I talk to myself like I'm talking to a friend, and it gives me it's so much fun for me. Honestly, now I'm just doing this on camera. 3 years ago, I quit smoking like electronic stuff, like vapes and shit. But last year in summer, I picked up hookah, and I've been smoking hookah last year for like 3-4 months. But at the end, I realized that it's bad for me because I've been smoking it almost like literally every day, sometimes 2 times a day. It was not good for me, and I quit. But on this vacation, I picked it up again a little bit because it was vacation and I wanted to be bad. And I was smoking and I smoked it for like 3 days. So now I have cravings. Like my brain says, come on, smoke a hookah, do it, it's so fun. But I know it's not, it's a lie. My brain tells me lies. And I've been resisting, and it's so hard. But honestly, I remember when I was trying to quit vape, the only way that I quit it, because every 30 minutes I've been telling myself that I'm gonna smoke in the next, like, in another 30 minutes. So, for example, right now it's 7:30, I would be like, oh my god, I need to smoke so bad. I would be like, okay, at 8 p.m. you're gonna smoke. When it would come 8 p.m., I would be like, okay, in 8:30 you're gonna smoke. And that's how I quit. Honestly, I recommend it to anyone. And I've heard someone on some podcast say the same thing about people who are quitting alcohol, because the idea of you're gonna quit forever, it's scary and it's uncomfortable. But if you tell yourself that you're not gonna like you're not gonna drink until next day, and then whatever happened next day is up to you. This idea is more comforting and easier to digest. I feel like, because the only way I can describe it for me, it was that, yeah, I can even honestly, I can't even explain it correctly, because I've been telling myself lies, and I've been trying to, like, those years when I was trying to quit, when I was quitting, that was the only way that I would, like, fake it, honestly. Fake it that I'm quitting, and then eventually I quit it for real. Mm. Mm. That's my slow cooker. I think since February of this year, I've been sort of like looking after what I eat, and I've been counting calories in terms of like be in a certain range. And I stopped doing it a week before my vacation, because I was like, if I'm not gonna quit earlier, I'm gonna be self-conscious about it, and I'm gonna be like crazy about it during the vacation, and I don't want to think about it during the vacation. It's a vacation, blah blah blah, whatever. And now I sort of feel like right, I don't know if it's like my period is coming or not, I don't know, but I honestly, my body feels like something is not right. So next week, starting tomorrow is Monday, I'm gonna again start cutting myself off, and like trying to count what I eat and how much I eat, because honestly it helps me a lot in terms of like looking after myself, feeling myself better, um, just in general, just for my mental health. Honestly, it helps me a lot, even though sometimes honestly, no, I don't even feel that way, because I wanted to say that sometimes I'm like self-conscious about stuff that I eat if I'm not counting it. But honestly, because I am so strict with in terms of like, because I'm strict with myself during the whole week, once at a time when I'm going out with my friends, like every, like, I don't know, 2 weeks or maybe 3 weeks, this one time when I like eat over my limit, it doesn't really bother me, because I'm like, whatever, I'm just a human, I'm just enjoying life. And if at home I can be like strict with myself and look at after what I eat, when I go out and I overeat or enjoy myself, it's just food, and it's one day, so it's not a habit, so I'm okay with that. I don't know if what I think about alcohol, I kind of want to quit drinking for a little bit too, but I love spending time with my family. Actually, my family, like half of my family goes to vacation next week, so maybe it's going to be a good opportunity for me to like cut down on drinking again, because we usually drink white wine, and I rarely drink anything else in terms of like, sometimes I drink beer, but I don't really want it. Like, I haven't been wanting it for a long time. And if I go out, sometimes I drink like cocktails, but it's honestly not so much. So the majority of my drinks that I've been consuming is white wine. So I think it's going to be a great opportunity for me to cut down on alcohol as well. Mm. I had my hair cut yesterday also. So I've been feeling myself. But to be honest, I had this haircut a couple of years ago, so it's nothing new for me, at least. Last haircut that I had, it was just more layers, and at the end my hair will be like a little bit below my shoulders, and this specific length bothers me so much. I don't know why. And also because of the layers, it would like look weird, because the ends would be below shoulders and they would curl a little bit, and it would piss me off. But then the rest of my hair would be like fine. So I asked her to like cut it to my chin, and she was like, okay, I know where it's going. I'm like, yeah, I'm coming back to my old school haircut. I think I think that's all. That's all I had on my chest that I could share with you. But honestly, my life is not that exciting. I would love for you to subscribe. I will try to do this consistently. I don't know how fast, I don't know for how long, but I just want to do it for me because I had this idea, and if I wouldn't do it now, um, I would always think the opportunities that I missed. So this is something that I do for me. Hopefully, it's gonna be fun. Bye bye.